My new cochlear implant, the electronic device surgically implanted to restore my hearing, it overwhelmed me so much that I collapsed into bed and slept for hours. After this surgery, there's a healing period before they switch on or activate the implant. The activation day is when you hear sound for the first time, and that's when my battle began. Have you ever wished you could turn your ears off? I have, every single day for months after my activation. When I got my CI at 30 years old, I discovered there's a dark side to hearing that's not spoken about much. It's like getting superhero powers, but then discovering you can hear every noise in the city all at once, a chaotic symphony without any filter or volume control. Despite being told it would be challenging, nothing truly prepares you for the auditory battle ahead. Only experiencing it reveals how hard your brain must fight to make sense of this flood of new sounds. In this video, I'll reveal the 3 most sinister sounds that ambushed me and the exact strategies I developed to defeat them. Enemy 1. Music, from beloved friend to unrecognizable stranger. Before my hearing loss, music was my refuge and joy, but after activation, completely unrecognizable, like robots banging on metal sheets in a chaotic orchestra pit. The betrayal was genuinely heartbreaking, but remarkably, my brain fought back over time, and after 6 months of determined practice, music slowly became enjoyable again. Different, but we'd reached a truce that lasted 23 years. Enemy 2, plastic bags, my most unexpected nemesis. Yes, ordinary shopping bags, but post-implant they ambushed me with violent sound like a thunderstorm of static electricity exploding right beside my ear without warning. Grocery shopping became auditory survival training in my 30s, but thankfully this only lasted about a year before my brain adapted and these sounds started to blend into the background. Enemy 3, campus noise, the very day sound became my enemy at 30. This ambush happened on my activation day, and suddenly an overwhelming wall of noise attacked me from everywhere at once, hundreds of students chatting outside on campus. I turned to my friend in panic and asked, "What is that terrible noise?" Their confused answer, "It's just students talking on the lawn." My brain had completely lost its ability to filter background from foreground. Everything came through equally. Voices, footsteps, papers rustling, laughter, distant traffic. I collapsed into bed that afternoon, utterly exhausted from this sensory battle, seriously wondering if public spaces were lost to me forever. So how did I transform from overwhelmed 30-year-old to master of my cochlear implant at 53? Well, our brains are remarkably resilient fighters, like muscles that strengthen with consistent training. 3 key weapons helped me to win this battle. First, building sound recognition skills, training my brain to identify each enemy's sound, like naming monsters under your bed so they become less frightening. Second, improving speech focus and noise, learning to hear important sounds when surrounded by chaos, like finding one conversation in a crowded restaurant. Third, training my brain to filter background noise, developing the ability to simply ignore sound attackers, like choosing which party guests deserve your attention. But honestly, the most powerful training, real-world exposure, deliberately putting myself in challenging, noisy environments. It's like learning to swim. Eventually, you need to get in the water. After all, I got my CI at 30 to rejoin the world, not to hide from it. Patience combined with consistent practice became my winning formula. It took nearly a year before these enemy sounds became manageable companions in my life, but the victories over these past 23 years far outweigh the struggles. The journey isn't always smooth, but with time you can become the master of your hearing experience. From a 30-year-old collapsed by a sound to a 53-year-old thriving in noise. That's a victory worth celebrating, don't you think? What struggles are you facing with your CI journey? Drop them in the comments so I know what to cover in future videos. Until next time, this is Aidan, 23 years into the good hearing journey and still learning every day.